You guys are doing civilization effort. Costobotia? Conversion? Really? Really? Alright, fair enough. And then up here, in fact, because they're all my same culture group, I don't care as much. So I think that these guys can basically civilize. So you can definitely civilize. There we go. That should also increase my force limits over here so I can be a little bit more active in my armies. I think everyone here is two-stick. Because remember, I actually started here. I moved my tribe down this way. So everything up here should be pretty close to what we are already, which is why conquering this area is a hell of a lot easier than conquering this area. At least in terms of post-conquest stabilization efforts. Culture does mean happiness, that's true. And happiness equals provincial loyalty, but if they rise up against us, I have a big army. I prove my right of conquest by killing those who disagree. I use the macro builder and click assimilate or convert to see if provinces have wrong culture or religion. It's best I can find for now. Yeah, but that's within the different unit types. It's just not the right overview. Like, it's a simple change, I would think. I would hope. Happiness does also mean production, is true. I mean, I'm not really expecting these areas to become that productive for a while. The other thing that we could do, actually, is... No, we can't. We have no words, sorry. Oh my god. Disregard. I was going to say is create some more citizens and things. And promote tribesmen into freemen. So this is the homecoming. It is. We've met our Langobardian cousins of Langobardia, who aren't actually in Langobardia. Langobardia, when we started, was like down here. In fact, there is a province called Langobardia. Have I taken it yet? I don't think I have. I don't actually remember 100% where we started. I think it was in the forest. I think it was like around here. Culture group, dominant... Yeah, Suabian. We are Suabian, so it was this. This is Langobardia right here. Where's Langobardia? Oh, it's up here. Okay. And yes, we have just taken it. Our former capital city is ours again. So the first thing that we'll need to do is cut down these disgusting forests. Ugh. Could build more training camps. Yeah, you're not wrong. We could. The one I randomly clicked was Langobardia. See, it's just knowledge. It called to me. So why did I move at the start? I considered trying migration, but I'm having a hard time justifying it to myself. Because it's a death sentence to stay here. It's really difficult to survive. And also, roleplay. Langobardia. I chose Langobardia because it's the Germanic form of Longbeard. Longbeards are a people that we know and love today. We better know them as the dwarves, though. And just having the dwarves based in this northern, murky, disgusting forest just seemed wrong. So we moved away. We moved into the lovely, lovely mountains of the Carpathians. Particularly our wondrous capital of Ibadura with its gold. And iron. And gems. And that's why we're based down here now. And also I just like the migratory mechanics. They're cool. They're one of the most interesting things I think about Imperator. Could use some work, sure. Could use some improvement, but I like them. It's different from most grand strategy games. And I'm pretty sure you could do a lot more creative stuff with migration than I have. Like, I'm fairly sure you can add migratory units to an already existing occupied province. I think it has to be your province, but you could, like, declare war on Rome, for example, then take over Altinon in a war, and then just drop your migratory light infantry units. Because when you migrate, they become an army, and each unit is one pop of light infantry, and then when you migrate, you move that army, and then there's a little button which appears, which is settle, and I think you can settle in already occupied provinces. It's like one right there. Have I convinced any barbarians to settle? In a sense? Not really, no. Not through negotiation. The city of Budagorum has been often overlooked by the wealthy patrons of the capital. Yes, I will build a lovely, beautiful temple. It does seem like you once have to renovate it, but then after the renovation it just stays forever. At least I've only ever seen that event fire once per location. Alright, Poznik is starting to reinforce. Good. So that means we're almost there. And also, Poet starting to reinforce. Excellent. Right, is anyone force marching? No. And what region is this? Mosia. Do we have a Lord of Mosia? We do. And does Mosia have a unit dedicated to them? A unit dedicated to them? I don't think so. So let's take a look at that. Still can't disband you. Very annoying. Smo needs to move up here. Tank stuff, probably. Yep. There we are. That should do it. More trade? Go on then. Making 116 ducats from trade now. Not too shabby. Think I might have to go back and watch the VODs. I've only found the channel 2 days ago and I enjoy the dwarven business. Yeah, as Marshall just said, I have a YouTube channel and it's being uploaded there. So it's already quite a few episodes in. So a nice backlog for you to catch up on. Admittedly, we're probably about a month ahead of where YouTube will be right now. I've been playing quite a lot of this series. I've really been enjoying the Langobards, actually, I have to say. They've been a lot of fun. And I like how the game shifts over time. Like playing as a migratory tribe versus playing as this monarchy. Very different game. Very, very different game. And I like that. Admittedly, I've been doing the Blessing of Tears basically the entire time. So that my population can be as massive as possible. 3,200, 5,700, 1,900, 5,600. I mean, we are slowly catching them, I think. And also just our size is growing. Is it difficult for a newbie? I lost the tutorial. It depends. So my take from the tutorial is, I thought it was a good tutorial if you've played Grand Strategies before. If you're a Paradox veteran, then the tutorial is really quite strong. I thought it was good. But if you are new to Grand Strategy games, then there's a lot of things lacking. Like, it'll say stuff like, fabricate a claim on the Etruscans. You play as Rome. Doesn't tell you how. It just says fabricate a claim. So if you played Europa Universalis, you know generally claims come through covert operations, which is a diplomatic option. Cool. And it kind of just shows you what's possible in the game without actually telling you how to do the things. And then after you fabricated the claim, it says, okay, declare war on the Etruscans. Okay. Doesn't tell you how to fight. Doesn't tell you how to compose your armies. Doesn't tell you, like, how the different mix of units and, like, if there's a good mix or a bad mix. It just kind of expects you to learn for yourself. It just says, alright, this is what you can do. Now, work out how exactly you want to go about doing this. I have 8,000 hours? Any force of the tutorial was fine, but it takes so much for granted the player and their possible understanding. Yeah, it does. I mean, there are some things which it could definitely have explained a little bit better. Combat being one. And also, just our size is growing. I'm trying to think the other areas. I mean, because it focuses on Rome, it says nothing about migrations. And had I not done a multiplayer game with some other YouTubers, I would never have known the migration icon was, like, here. I think it's next to the transfer occupation. Wouldn't have seen it. And it's done on a per city basis rather than your entire nation migrating and leaving. $8,000 hours is absurd. Crikey. Greybill is now following. Thank you very much for the follow, Greybill. And also, Itch's Guitar and Gyotzi. You guys probably joined while I was fighting a war and had my hands rather full of other things. Thank you very much for the follows. Welcome to the channel. And I have to say, it's absolutely amazing to see so many of you here this evening. Thank you so much for joining us. And now the recovery can continue. I was going to say can start, but we started already. Lots of people want access. I'm like, yep, sure, whatever. Don't care. How's the revolt going? I think that this revolt is going to be a far shorter one. This time around. How old's my ruler now? 53. Considering he took the throne at like 23, he's been in power a long time. His oratory has gone downhill. He's now 4 oratory, 4 religious, and 3 civic. His civic's got better, admittedly. Oh, and we need a chancellor. Level 11? What does Chancellor do again? I do think that Chancellor is quite an important role. So another thing I really wish is it told you what this does, even with nobody assigned. Like, just tell me it's 0% aggressive expansion reduction. You're a little bit corrupt. Is there anything that I want an orator for more? I don't think so. Okay, so it's aggressive expansion reduction. Apparently going over 50 is dangerous, but I've got nowhere even near that. I mean, think about the number of wars we fought and the number of territories that we've taken recently. 30 AE. Imagine doing that in EU4. You would have crushed your nation in this time. Speaking of joining, I'm heading off. Need my beauty sleep. I'm ugly enough as it is. See you folks, have a good one. Don't do anything I would do. See ya, Larsman. Thanks for joining us. And we have stuff again. And also we have money, so we probably do want to invest in some more training camps. Let's promote Pops first. Need to get rid of more of the tribesmen. Especially up here where we're civilizing. And then we can build Vistula first of all. Training camps. Sort by province, Vistula. Rhine's actually a bad place for them. And we've already built... Actually, it's not a terrible place. It's just that I think a marketplace would be stronger. And then next up is Costobotia, which is that bit. There are a lot of freemen here. Alright, Costobotia it is. No, that. Training camp. Costobotia. Alright, and then next we've got Marsinia, which is this bit. Training camp, sort by. Glorious. Loads of training camps are being built. And that should help with the manpower generation. And we have an invention. Elite recruitment, starting experience, reinforced speed, trireme discipline, province import routes. I would love to get more province import routes. Okay, plus 10 tech. I mean, it's basically got to be plus 10 tech. The The various schools of philosophy arising out of Greece and further afield combine mathematics, theology, cosmology, and many more to create a distinct worldview. The study, debate, and intellectual sparring between these schools of thought is likely to fuel advancement in a number of fields. We're now at 139% efficiency. We're getting better. We're getting better. A bitter feud. The court is bustling with sycophants, claimants, and pretenders. It is of little surprise, therefore, that two of the most ambitious claimants to the throne of Langobardia have found themselves at odds. These conflicts have a way of getting out of hand. Perhaps we ought to step in and limit the potential for escalation. So I start to see the general from California as a rival. Oh, the son. No, the son sees him as a rival. He loses a bit of loyalty, and the general loses some loyalty. Or the son gains loyalty and the general loses 20. Stop squabbling. And also, I can't bribe you yet. 2 months? Yes. 2 months, and I will bribe you. Gain a bit of corruption, but I can take that. What are the buildings available later in the game? It's the same four. You just build more and more of them. Marketplaces, training camps, fortresses, and granaries. And there we go. No longer disloyal. Training camp was the last one, Marshal. Oh, no, barracks is what you're calling training camp. Fortress. And we are now positive attrition, though it's winter. That's fine. A peculating official. It has come to our attention that our trusted advisor, Pirporus Gudliani, has been siphoning funds from our treasury into his own pocket for some time. The Marshal... He's not a very good Marshal, is he? I suspect that we can replace you with... Oh, no. Actually, we can't. He gains 20 corruption, 20 loyalty. I lose popularity and corruption. Can recuperate the losses. He loses money, he loses loyalty. He gains corruption. I lose popularity and corruption. And I get 600 ducats. Or he gets fired, he loses the money, he loses loyalty, gains corruption. I gain popularity. And we make money. Bye! So many other people that can replace you. Like, literally 4. That's a lot. Theobald Theodosius. Weren't you one of the ones who was trying to usurp me for a really long time? I think it's going to be one of these two because they're not corrupt unlike you two. We'll go with Eidmund. Oh, his ambition's even to become the Marshal. So his popularity, or his loyalty is currently 56. If we do that, does his loyalty go... Oh, yeah. He gains 20 loyalty. I think part of that because he gained the ambition. I think you get 10 for the promotion. How are the support going? Not really dangerous. His legitimacy when he takes the throne is going to be 66. Still 53. Luonian civil war has ended. Silly tribes and their silly civil wars. No. Livonia's doing really well. 405 cohorts. That's a couple. 24,000 manpower. Not too shabby. Making a fair old chunk of change too. Although Sunluk Tancred is responsible for the oversight of the civic works, it has become abundantly clear that his appointment was a terrible mistake. All around the country, shabby, hideous edifices are being razed at alarming speed. Sadly, his latest masterpiece collapsed, killing a number of civic officials. We should decide to handle this carefully. So, Sunlake, the master of the... Why is the master of the guard building civic stuff? I mean, he's supposed to be really good at this. He's dumb. That's probably why. He's an original thinker, though. I mean, some people a little more positive to this guy call it original. We just call him stupid. Wait, is that dumb or dumb as in can't talk? Click on you. Sunlick was never one for intellectual pursuits. No, he is dumb. That would have been a hilarious combination, actually. If he was dumb as in couldn't speak and also an orator. Like, he can express himself very well. So we can flog him. I gain popularity. He loses a bunch of loyalty. Wounded. Oh no. High chance of loyalty loss. He could die. He could be wounded. Or I lose 600 ducats. And he loses a bunch of popularity. I think I'm going to take the financial hit. Finance is something I can recover from. Now, we are spending a lot of money on fort maintenance. So I'm thinking some of these internal forts we can probably afford to get rid of. But then again... nah. The other thing that we probably should do is build a fleet to get rid of the pirates. What negative effect is the piracy having? Blockade contribution of 11%. Which I think does mean you're stealing money from us. So let's go ahead and build some galleys. I have one place I can build galleys in. Really? Oh, you need wood locally to do this. I mean, that does make sense. That's why Rome keeps trying to buy wood from us. West Gothia. That's the Visigoths. Because the Ostrogoths were the Eastern Goths. Where's West Gothia? I just tweaked that. Gothia. Oh, it's west of Gotland. It's west... I'm trying to remember what the province is actually called. Gotland or something. So it's not actually the Visigoths. Unless the Visigoths came from up here, which is possible. I don't think so, considering Gothia is over here. Or else there's just many, many Gothia places. I know there's a Gothia around here somewhere. I think I've colonized it, but I'm not entirely sure. Oh, is it Gothlandia? There's a bunch of Gothlandias, apparently. One of which is right here. That's the one. Gothinia. Alright, where are these? Oh, those are sea zones. Gothalia we're not seeing, Gautinger we're not seeing. East and West Gothia. So were the Goths Scandinavian? I feel like I need to look up the history of the Goths now. Oratory 14. So, next level of Oratory: Grand Triumph, General Loyalty, Tributary Opinion, and Tyranny Reduction. None of those are particularly useful. Well, the General Loyalty could be good, but I'm fairly trigger happy when it comes to bribery. Don't have any stuttering issue. Oh, it definitely stutters a bit, especially when you're zoomed out. I mean, at the moment it's fairly smooth, but when I was playing earlier it was stuttering a lot. Wikipedia says the Goths maybe originated in Scandinavia and migrated to Germany. Oh, okay. Fair enough. And I can get a military... Wait, I can get a military tradition. They are really cheap now. Before I do that, I should probably build some more roads, however. Where's my cavalry? I mean, I know why you're over here, though I'd prefer you were on a road. Oh, Moved away. Whoops. The Visigoths, I mean Visigoths just means Western Goths and the Ostrogoths are Eastern Goths. Whether that's because of West and East up here or because of where they ended up settling, I'm not sure. Because it was the Ostrogoths who were in Italy and the Visigoths who were over here in Iberia. And that's obviously West and this is East, comparatively. Because the Spanish Christian kingdoms were Gothic. It's something I didn't really realise until Attila. I really want to get the shield wall, but I also want to make sure that we got the roads going. Now let's get the shield wall. This is quite an important tech. Barbarians! Germanic troops often surprise their opponents by utilising a corps of heavily shielded warriors, acting as a deterrent to attackers and as a particularly cohesive and mobile unit on the battlefield. The shield wall was a coherent and mobile unit. Also barbarians. Huh. That's an area I've not had problems with barbarians from before. Interesting. And probably won't for long. So the other cavalry unit, that would be you, hello, should probably head down here. Although frankly, you could make it a lot quicker. And that would also suggest I need to put a fort here, although Olate is fort as well. Jahasafras, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the channel. I don't understand playing tribes. How? How what? Whoa, you went the wrong way. Sneaky. The Goths came from Scandinavia, migrated to Poland, and then to the Black Sea. There they split into the East and the West Goths. The West Goths migrated to Iberia after they raided Rome. And we are positive manpower again. Finally. Okay, triremes are being built. I think we could definitely do with a couple more. How many are there here? 7. We've got 10, 11, plus 3 already here. 14, 15. That'll probably do. My clan chiefs always revolt, and once I reach regional power I get smashed by big alliances. I mean, I got away from the alliances simply by migrating away, so I just moved. Which is why my capital's down here rather than up here. Like, I've literally just retaken my capital from the start of the game. In terms of the clan retinues, I'm afraid that is just a problem you're going to have to deal with. I mean, one of the ways of trying to keep them loyal is bribery. If one of them is particularly disloyal, bribe the others so they stay loyal to you and join you on the civil war. And also, if you have any actual armies loyal to you from a general rather than a retinue, surround the disloyal retinue with your troops and just try and destroy them at the start of the war. Otherwise, it's just have a couple of stacks of light infantry so you can siege stuff easier. And then try to attrition them. Although attrition is a less effective tool against retinues because they don't cost retinue to replenish, either for you or for them. But that is the challenge of tribes, is trying to keep them together. They do implode a lot. I certainly did. Even without having nearby alliances screwing with me and picking on me when I was weak. I am unfortunately going to have to end this stream here. If you want to see how I survived early on with this tribe, I would highly recommend you head over to my YouTube, which you can find at youtube.com/Mordred Viking. That is the beginning of this series, so you can see how I managed it with the Langobards, because we were a migratory tribe at the start of the game, but we are now a fully modernized monarchy, which is quite nice, I must say. I do have a Patreon if you want to support the channel that way. You can find that at patreon.com/MordredViking. Or you can, of course, become a subscriber here on Twitch. When I am naming armies, as you can see, Hakon Longbeard, Schmo, From California, Tankstux, Poet, and Pozinik, those are all subscribers or patrons. So if you wish to see your names appearing in the game, then that is the way to do that as well. I do have a Discord where the community hangs out. I hang out there as well, and you should totally come and hang with us. You can find that at the Discord link, which Marshall has just posted. Thank you, Marshall. Let's see who else is streaming right now, and we'll go and raid them. I will be back again tomorrow at 3 PM. Going to be doing the European Universalis 4 Community Clash. That's with my community. I'll be commentating it, so I'll be in observer mode, sitting over the top, lording it over everyone. And basically giving you analysis and insight into what is going on and possibly why. Also interviews with the various players and that type of thing. They're really good fun, so you should come and join us. The next time I'll be doing Imperator will be next week. I haven't created my schedule. I'll probably do that tomorrow evening or Monday afternoon. And you'll find the schedules linked in the description below, or better yet, over on the Discord. That is where I tend to keep the most up-to-date information going on. Let's see who's streaming. Seeing if there's any names I recognize here. No. Marco is a legend at E4. Marco. Sarmatia tribe restart. Ooh, interesting. Sarmatian Knights. Alright, we'll go and raid Marco. So... I'm guessing that's the Marco you meant. Marconian... Mark Antonio. Marco Antonio, yeah. So head on over there, say hello from Mordred Viking, throw in a couple of Viking raids, just like this. Throw in the horns if you've got access to them, if not, no worries. Sir Celia and Tappy, thank you very much for the follows, welcome to the channel. So yeah, head on over there, throw in a couple of Viking raids, be very much appreciated, and I shall see you guys next time. Goodbye.